So the very first step is that we need to attach our yarn to our crochet hook, and we're going to do that with a slip knot. I'm going to show you two different ways to do a slip knot. The first way is easier to follow if you haven't done one before. The second way is how I do it and is a little bit faster. So you want to take your ball of yarn and place it to the left hand side of you, and then grab the tail of your yarn and have that to the right hand side of you. Then you just want to hold on to this tail piece and create a big loop with your yarn, like so. Then you want to take your finger and just place it on the X where the loop crosses over. Then you want to grab this loop and just drag it over the tail, so over this end, not this end. Then this little bit of yarn that's sitting in the middle of that loop, we're going to grab that and we're just going to pull it up like so to create a knot. Then we can insert our crochet hook into that big loop, pull on both the tail and the working yarn to close it up, and that's a slip knot. So I'll show you that one more time. Yarn tail in your right hand, create a big loop like so, finger on the X, grab the loop and drag it over the tail, and then grab this bit of yarn here, hold on to this yarn just so it doesn't move, and pull that up into a big loop. So now I'm going to show you how I do it, which is essentially the same way, but I'm just not doing it flat. Tail in my right hand, create a loop just like I did when it was lying flat, then insert your thumb and first finger through that loop to grab the tail, like so. And then you can pull the tail through. So it's essentially the same approach. I'm just doing it up in the air rather than lying flat. So again, I'm just grabbing the yarn, creating a loop, inserting my thumb and first finger through that loop to grab the tail and pull it through. Then you just want to insert your crochet hook into that loop, pull on both strands to tighten it up. Don't pull it too tightly. You want this loop that's on your crochet hook to be a little bit loose. See how there's a little bit of gap around the loop and my hook? That's because we're actually going to be working into this loop, so we don't want it too tight or otherwise it's going to be too hard to work into. Okay, so we're going to start our work with a series of chains, or the chain stitch. Now, chain stitch is a really common crochet stitch. It's how you'll generally start any project that involves working in rows. So it's a really good one to master. It's also one of the easiest crochet stitches. Okay, so you want to grab your crochet hook and your yarn in whatever way you've decided is the best way for you after watching my video on how to hold your hook and yarn. And you want to hold onto the slip knot with your third finger and your thumb like so, just to keep it in place. And we're going to use our index finger to control our yarn and use our right hand to control our crochet hook. So the first step in a chain is to do a yarn over. It's a component of basically every single crochet stitch. And what yarn over means is you're just draping the yarn from the back of your crochet hook and over the top like so. You can do this either by controlling your index finger, which is how I do it, or you can use your right hand to control your crochet hook by placing your crochet hook underneath the yarn. But regardless, you want the yarn to go from the back of the crochet hook over the top, like so. Make sure you're going in that direction. If you go in this direction, it's actually a yarn under. That's not what we want to do. Okay, then the next step, once you've yarned over, is we're going to pull this yarn through the loop that's already on our crochet hook. So to do that, we want to pull the crochet hook down so that the yarn catches in the head of our crochet hook like so. And then we're going to pull it through this loop here. So that's why we wanted this to be a little bit loose. And generally I find if you use your thumb and third finger to pull on that loop, it'll create a little bit of space that'll make it easier to get this yarn through. So we pull the crochet hook down, catch the yarn in the head of our crochet hook. You want to twist the crochet hook so that it catches the yarn, but also so it lines up with your loop and you can pull it through easily. And then you just want to pull that through the loop, like so. And that's your first chain stitch. So we'll do a second chain. So again, yarn over, drape the yarn from the back over the top. Pull your crochet hook down so that the yarn catches in the head of the crochet hook, and twist the hook so that it lines up with the loop that's on your hook, and just pull that through like so. So again, yarn over, pull it through. Now every time you do a stitch in crochet, you want to make sure that your loop goes back down over the main shaft of the crochet hook, and that's because the width of this part of the hook here is what gives the size of your crochet hook. You'll notice this piece here is a little bit finer, a little bit thinner, to make it easier to work with, but if you don't push it down, it'll mean your loop is a little bit too tight. So you want to pull it down so that you make sure your loop is the right size. Okay, so we're just going to keep making chains. You'll probably find now it's a little bit easier to hold on to your work with your third finger and your thumb. So again, we'll just yarn over, pull that yarn through the loop. And we'll just continue like so. Once you've done, usually I find about 3 or 4 chains, you might want to move your third finger and thumb a little bit closer just so it's easier to manage. Okay, so I'm just going to pause here to show you the different parts of the chain stitch. So on the top of your work, you'll see kind of a plait formation or a formation of V's. This is the top of our chain, and this is typically the best way to count your chains. So each one of these V's represents one chain. Each V consists of 2 loops. There's a loop that's closest to you. This is called the front loop. And then there's a loop that's further away from you. This is called the back loop. And you'll hear me refer to front loop and back loop at certain points throughout this tutorial. So we just want to count how many chains we've done. And we can do this by counting the V's. So this is the first V, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8, 9. And then this one up here is the 10th. If you turn your chain over and sort of look at it side on, you'll see these little bumps along the back. These are called the back bumps. They sort of sit in the middle of the V, and this is the third part of the chain stitch, and I'll also be referring to this a little bit later. Now, one thing to note at this point is it can be really tempting to do your chains really tightly, and it can be easy to make the assumption that a tight chain is a neat chain, but actually that's not the case. You want your chain to be a little bit loose, to have some gaps in it, because we're going to be working into these gaps in our first row. So actually if you do a really tight chain, it's going to be hard to work into. If your chain does look really tight, then just try and loosen up your grip a little bit. Make sure that there's lots of space around the loop on your hook when you're working into it. And don't worry if it looks a little bit messy, a little bit unneat, because it'll neaten up pretty nicely when we work into it in round 1. So I'm going to give you 2 options for working into your starting chain. The first option is much easier, but it won't leave quite as nice of a finish or edge to your work. And that is working under the back loop of your chain. So this is our front loop, this is our back loop. So you can just insert your crochet hook in the middle of the V so that you're just going under that back loop of the stitch. This is generally the easiest way to work into your chain because there's usually quite a bit of space there. So that's option 1. Option 2 is actually to work into the back bumps. So again, if you turn your chain over, you'll see these bumps or ridges along the back. So option 2 is actually working under these ridges or back bumps. So to do that, you just insert your crochet hook under that bump, like so. Working into your back bumps is quite a bit harder than working under the back loop, and that's just because these bumps tend to be a little bit tighter. I find usually when working into the back bump, it's often a good idea to just use your fingernail to help guide the loop over the crochet hook. Okay, so I will note here that working into your chain is a little bit fiddly, and it's fiddly for a few reasons. One is that you don't actually have much to hold on to yet. You've just got the chain to hold on to. You will find as you get further into your work, you'll have a little bit more to grip onto, and so it'll get a little bit easier. Also, working into the chain is just fiddlier and a little bit more difficult than it is working into typical crochet stitches. So if you are finding this first row a bit frustrating and fiddly, just know that it is going to get easier as you get further into your work.